to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. Except the blood of the poor and the words they mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.
That's the essence of your entire political identity. You might be a white supremacist.
Hey.
We in effect. Welcome. It's This Week in White Supremacy. We back. We got a lot of, as every week, we live in America, so it's mad white supremacy happening. It's a lot of Terry Cruz's this week as well. I mean, we got a heavy dose of, white supremacy and blackface, however you want to call that. Maybe some black excellence. Can we throw some black excellence in there today? We've been forgetting our black excellence, so we do want to do some black excellence. And we got a call to action, white pages, all the things you turn into This Week in White Supremacy for. And we got this amazing panel of superstar commenters. I'm Jasiri X. I'm co-founder CEO of One Hood Media. To my immediate right with the shades. Feel me?
Full-time supervillain, part-time hater. Sometimes I moonlight as a director of operations of this illustrious organization. Sai with the shades. We here.
Yes, and right below, in the box, but above us and everything else.
Which like, no way, we're not even starting the show off like this. Last week y'all replaced me. This week, we don't even mention the twins. It's okay because Mike Dean said I'm the shit. So this is Miracle, the whip and the wop, though I guess, I don't know, the ex, the former, Wonder Twin. I just be over here, holding it down for my dark chocolate brothers and sisters and siblings and family. What's popping? Hello, y'all.
And then you got Trouble in LS, you know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the happy belated birthday wishes. Trouble never liked supremacy. I'm here repping for Gen Z, the spiritual, gurus in the building. We out here.
Absolutely. That birthday energy. Team Miracles in there. Celeste is in the chat with you.
You know what? People love me, and I love them back. Okay.
Yes,
it's okay. Somebody has to love me and support me because I still haven't gotten any free swag or shirts. But it's okay.
I'm gonna rewear this shirt, and I'm gonna put your picture right here, Miracle. I'm gonna put your over James Baldwin's face. I'm gonna put Miracle. America needs Miracle. So it was, sometimes we'll be looking at what are the major like white supremacist incidents that happened. Some week is packed in and others, so we had a lot to talk about. But then I want to say Monday, we probably had, it's been a lot of Karens. I mean, there was the Central Park Karen, or what I don't know. She had the dog and the bird and choked her dog. You know what I'm saying? You had her. You had the Karen who was mad about the barbecue in Oakland. You had the Karen that called the police on the black children selling water, and all of these Karens kind of got a name. You had the Karen that tackled the black child that thought her phone was taken, but lo and behold, you left it in your Uber. You know what I'm saying? So you had, but this might be. And it's wild because you just had this movie, right? We just had the Karen movie trailer. This might be the queen of all Karens, possibly.
I believe we were going to see, sometimes God works in mysterious ways and we just can't always question his judgment. But I believe what John was going to do is pull up our Karen of the week.
What happened? I've been quiet the whole time, and that trouble's gone.
They was like, "Oh no, you will not talk about these white women today."
Bro, we getting sabotaged, man. Like,
what's happening?
You know,
I'll tell you what. If Miracle doesn't go, then we know who's behind it. There's a
first of all, see, there you go.
denominator.
Anti-blackness right there. Always gotta blame the black skin. Gotta blame the women. What happened to protect black women? What happened to
I'm
protect
just saying, there's a
black
common
women?
denominator here.
Now you about to blame
If you're the
black
only one
women?
who doesn't go away from the top, you're behind it.
That was wild.
Or maybe, or
you know,
maybe the FBI man on my phone appreciates me and is like, you know what? Let me help her out today. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the hackers are like,
you snitching? That's what you're saying?
Maybe like Karen. Maybe Karen is like the word, like a bad word now. You know how like TikTok wouldn't let you say like Black Lives Matter. Maybe Karen is like the word. Because I said Karen like mad times. And then it was almost like, yo, you're going too far. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like Candyman. Like I said, Karen.
Candyman, yo, I'm gonna tell you, Candyman looks okay.
But I'm saying, bro, if you say Karen 7 times, this Victoria's Secret woman is going to show up because
yes.
When you talk about like unhinged on a whole nother level, and we're not like
that was sad. Like that was disturbing on a lot of levels, man. Like
so
it was really disturbing.
See, I wouldn't go into sad because I think like if it's sad, like to me it was more calculated. Like if it's sad, then you called the police and said this black woman was threatening you when clearly she was trying to get away from you. So
I'm saying,
go ahead.
I was saying what was sad was that the mall cops were like, I don't want to see the video. Like that what was sad for me. Like I don't think her behavior was sad because I'm not. Yeah.
Because I was when you say like because and like hey look, we're all for supporting folks going through mental health crisis. You know what I'm saying? We have on tilt every Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like get your mental health.
At that point, you're endangering somebody else's life.
No, this was like it's one thing. I mean, this was something different. You know what I'm saying? Not when you have
run up on me like that.
I'm saying, but when you have the foresight to like call the police and like go through this whole thing about how this person is threatening you when clearly they are not, then that's something different. Let's just we'll show a little bit of the video if you have not seen the Victoria. Now this is a 20-minute video, so of course we're not going to play the whole thing. I mean, we could, but we're not. You know what I'm saying? But let's watch a little bit of it. Play by play, and like let's break this part down right here.
It's you. Now you are. Oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see this? Oh my God! I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me, and now she. Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God! Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me.
Not Karen had a breakdown.
She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you.
Sound like a tea kettle.
Oh my God.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that was very high level.
Before you did what you did.
Lying on
we
camera.
got it on tape.
Not like 4K. You know what? Everybody's minding their business. You can tell people are just so over being outside. Like
y'all had to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no! You just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry.
All her bad decisions are coming out right now. So I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna lose my cat.
But at the same time, it's like
I just came like my free pen.
You run up on a black woman, and then now you're playing the victim. Now you're like going down on the ground and you're crying. The sister got away from you. There's a part in the video where, and I guess we can you can watch the whole video. We'll post the whole video if you want to see 20 minutes of this white woman freaking out.
Why did it last for 20 minutes though? Why did it go that long?
That's part of the point. And I want you to hop in, Miracle, because I felt like you had a really good breakdown in pre-production. Right. I mean, I think that's the point. Like, there's a part in the video where the woman is like running away from this Karen. Like, and she's asking, she's like, security, like, I need somebody to get this white woman, and nobody did. And I'm sorry, this was a black woman that was behaving like that. They wouldn't have lasted 20 minutes. They would have called security. People working there would have tried to grab her. It would have been a totally different experience. But to just watch people just kind of allow this white woman to just break down like that, and nobody even tried to get in her way to help this black woman. I posted the article in the chat. The sister's name, Ijoma. You know, I'm terrible with names. But her name is in the Yahoo article. She captured the incident. A black woman, and the Karen is Abigail Elphick, I believe is her name, and that's the Karen's name. But kind of give me your take on this, Miracle. And kind of what did you see?
Like we were talking last week, you know, y'all got to be careful what y'all allies and people y'all put up, because you know there was that viral video of a bunch of Caucasian women pretending to cry and then starting to laugh on beat. That was like last week on TikTok. And This is what we saw, is this woman who literally was the aggressor, who started this altercation. And then once she realized she was on camera, started to cry and started to try to weaponize her tears. And if you watch the whole entire video, now granted, I watched it in segments because that wasn't a lot. The mall cops, the other patrons in the store, the employees, and the actual cops at some point through the video actually get involved in the situation, and they show up not to support the black woman, not to calm her down, not to do de-escalation techniques, to go and basically ask the black woman, why is she getting so upset? Why is she engaging? And to basically, how do you not have compassion for this woman who's having a quote unquote mental health crisis? And the officers get there and they're basically annoyed and flustered with this black woman who was literally running around the store trying to get away from this woman. Like, if you're watching the thing, the white woman is screaming, "Get her away from me," while chasing after her. And there's nowhere for this woman to go. And no one is involving themselves. You know, we had the conversation a few weeks ago when there were the hate crimes happening in New York and California of what you should do as a bystander when you see, and none of those techniques apparently, when was a black woman who needed some type of support, were put into play. Because once again, when it's a black woman, a lot of times people do not see us as people deserving of protection and respect, of people who are placed in harm's way. And this is a perfect example as well, you know, of that. Now, this could be a whole act, and they could have been actors and pretending to, you know, put this on. But as far as we know, this is an actual occurrence that, you know, occurred. This is real people, real victims, and it's just appalling, the behavior that occurred.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a great point. I mean, I didn't see an employee. I mean, she's literally asking. I would think if somebody, you know, if I'm working somewhere and if some white lady start breaking down, I'm calling the cops, I'm calling security, I'm going to get someone. It didn't seem to be like a real sense of urgency that this black woman was in danger. And then when, you know, I would think that when the mall cops come or the cops come, one of these people in the store, one of these employees would come in and say, well, wait a second, no, that did not happen. Like, this white woman instigated this whole thing. She's the one. But that's where I found it to be when I saw, and like you said, I watched in the segments too, but when I saw the part where she was on the phone with the police and she was saying like she's being threatened, and this black lady clearly is far away from her, she's not even close to her, and you're running up on the black woman saying, "Get away from me." Like, how can I get away from you? You're running up on me. But it kind of shows, kind of like you said, this moment that we have, and how you know, time and time again, you know, we see white people, and this is another example of a white woman calling the police and, like, you know, weaponizing that whiteness against black people who just want respect. You know what I'm saying? This black woman just wanted to be left alone. And just like you said, if she doesn't record it, she might be arrested. If she doesn't record it, it might have turned out very differently. You have something, Saeed?
for everybody that has ever questioned the validity of the Emmett Till case, this is exactly how it goes. Every single time. This is it. And when Miracle cited that TikTok experiment or whatever it was, the viral thing where, you know, these white women were just crying on command, like, you know, that's the most dangerous person on the planet is a white woman with tears. You know what I mean? And like you said, if she didn't have the ability to record this. My thing is though, it's like, yo, don't run up on me like that. You know what I mean? Like how fortunate? No, but seriously, how fortunate are these people to keep running up on these magnanimous Black people to not resort to violence? Like at some point, you're gonna run out of luck. Like if you keep rolling the dice, you're gonna crap out running up on the wrong person like that. Man, yo, try Jesus, not me, because I throw hands, man.
And then, you know, just to answer like what Ashley, you know, Ashley made a comment, if a Black woman was having a mental breakdown, it would be cops everywhere. We've seen Black women and we've seen Black people having mental breakdowns, being killed by the police. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. And this is one of the reasons that folks are trying to reimagine police and saying, no, we actually need mental health workers to deal with people that are having mental health problems. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen Black women, you know, dealing with mental issues, the police being called, and these Black women are dead. I mean, we're one day, you know, yesterday was the anniversary of Sandra Bland being pulled over in Texas, and being killed by the police down there. And so, you know, just like you said, I mean, that's we've seen this, you know, really, really happening. And so that was, to me, one of the most interesting things is like this white woman breaking down and crying. It was like it was no big deal. And nobody seemed to have any type of sense of urgency in terms of what this Black woman was going through. I think John has some of the video of when the cops or the mall cops came in. If you could play a little bit of that, and then I'll come to you, Trouble.
Okay, I guess she's gone. What can I do for you? This lady tried to attack me. She chased me around the store, everything. I was over here looking at the you can ask the workers. I was over here looking at the sale items. Right. So she came back and she put she came back and she put an item back in front of me. So okay. After she put the item back in front of me, she begins skimming through the clothes, like right in my face. I said, "Excuse me." Then she just completely went over to them, asked them to call security, went off. She dropped on the floor. She screamed. She chased me. As a matter of fact, where is she?
Well, I don't know exactly right now who you're referring to.
Here we go.
You don't know who she's referring to.
I know. No, it's not okay. Ask them. She chased me. Excuse me, ma'am. You're the manager, right? Could you come over here and tell him what this lady did? She chased me around the store. I was attacked in the mall, almost attacked in the mall. The manager, I had to run behind her. I chased him around. He's telling me he can escort me to my car, but she's not. She doesn't have to leave the mall. I'm not finished shopping. I have 2 other stores to go to.
I don't work for the mall. I can't order her out of the mall.
Yeah, but you work for Milburn. I was just almost assaulted in this mall.
I can't. More security.
How many times have police asked Black people to leave a mall? What the hell?
If the shoe was on the other foot and I would have tried to attack her white ass, you would have me escorted out this mall. Ma'am. And that's just how I feel. This woman, mind you, the manager done told him. The manager told me he chased, huh?
I wish you didn't feel that way.
I do feel that way. I was just almost attacked and assaulted, and you telling me 3 times that he can't get out. You hear this?
Yeah, can you pause that real quick?
Yeah,
because
I'm over. I'm off this, man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna come to you, Trouble. But one of this thing that's reminded me of is, if you remember, it was I believe 3 years ago, when Black Rap Medusa was at a movie theater, and saw a manager
I was just thinking about that.
Young Black girls.
Those are 2 of my students at the time.
Right, and basically, you know, went to defend these Black girls and started recording. And this police officer said she had to leave. She had her ticket. She was like, I paid for that. Here's my information. And he slammed her on the ground, or slammed them on the ground. And we saw that. You know what I'm saying? That is on video. And so to act like, there's nothing I can do. I can't ask somebody to leave. Wait, you can't ask somebody who just tried to assault somebody to leave the mall? You don't have, you're a cop in the area. If you have jurisdiction over the mall, we could bang it out in the mall and you can't ask us to leave?
Wild West apparently.
Now had she had like a backwards cap or some sagging pants, would have been kicked out, escorted out, a hoodie on. Like,
come on. I've seen right. That happened at Ross Park Mall, right? Just wearing a hoodie. Oh, you have to have your hoodie. You can't have your hoodie over your head. You got to take your hoodie off. And all of these rules and regulations when it comes to regulating Black people, or let her have, if she had that, Saeed spirit, and defended herself. Now, I bet you would have escorted somebody out then.
And I don't want to cut Trouble off, but I've been carded walking into the malls various times just to make sure that I was above age to not be walking around with an. Wallahi, I thought it was wild too, bro. I got a full beard and everything, man. Mall security stopped me. Let me see your ID. I come in the mall like 7 o'clock. There's a teen escort policy here, bro. You get me? Like, so, and then there were police with them at that time. For what? Trouble. Come on, man. You the youngest one out of
I don't know. I don't know if anyone here has watched Attack on Titan. It's one of my favorite animes. There we go. So you know about the founding Titan then. I feel like Karen tears or white women tears are like the founding Titans scream. Anytime they scream, you can summon other Titans. So it's like anytime a Karen cries, it's like it summons other Karens or it summons the police. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they have the founding Titan tears running down their face. Oh, thank you, Woogie. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So just we're going to wrap this up, but it says that the Karen Elpic, and this is from the Yahoo News article, admits she was wrong in her behavior, but that she didn't want to be professionally or socially shunned. She claimed she had a panic attack. How about this? How about leave Black people alone and we won't shun you?
Right. How about don't try to smack a Black woman on camera?
When a Black woman says, excuse me, leave me alone, like how about you say, oh, my fault, you know what? I'm sorry. I was in your space. It's still COVID. I should practice social distance. My fault, and moved on. If you just said, oh, excuse me, sorry, ma'am, and kept it moving, you wouldn't have been shunned. But when you have an all-out, lay on the ground, 20-minute attack, quote-unquote attack, you should be professionally and socially shunned. You know what I'm saying? The Black woman says they took her statement first because, of course, she called the police. She completely lied. She's trying to say I started videotaping her, caused her to have a panic attack, which at the time she followed me to try to get me to stop recording. She said she's filing a complaint against the 2 officers that responded and against mall security. She said the Victoria's Secret staff assisted her. And I saw that Victoria's Secret, I think they put a statement out about it, about their store. So, but she's basically saying, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. She's basically saying that she's suing those cops. She's suing the mall security. Shout out to her. She has a GoFundMe. Maybe we can use that. Maybe that could be one of our call to actions. Support this sister's GoFundMe. As she attempts to get justice. Any other closing comments about this?
Yes. So I'm over here thinking pretty hard about this video, and I'm realizing that like the way everyone around is kind of like not anything kind of makes me feel as though like they're sympathizing with the Karen and like hesitant to act because they don't really know whether or not the Black woman is in the wrong or not. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you see this Black woman, with their camera out getting brolic with a woman who just tried to hit her, and you still don't know if she's innocent or if she purposely what's going on. It's just like it's weird to me,
Yeah, this is like the coming together of like all of our different segments. This is like Karen of the Week, Sound of the Police, Call to Action. You know what I'm saying? I just dropped the, GoFundMe. Her GoFundMe is going crazy right now. There's like everything in one. You know what I'm saying? All together.
We should donate organizationally.
Yeah. Yes, we should. Defend her against a Karen. And like I said, yeah, we need. I don't know if the Titans in your anime are good or bad, but we need somebody to defend us against these Karens, man. Like seriously, like who's the defender? Oh, it ain't gonna be the police because the police the police are definitely, and that's the thing. It's like, I know that I
Miracle should defend us from the Karens.
I mean, legally.
Well, go ahead. Just go ahead and take and demand the black labor of a woman who's sitting here minding her business. Sure.
Make the black woman do everything. But no, I mean, I know that they passed. I think Oakland passed a law, like a Karen law, about people calling the police for things that don't need to be. And that's the thing. Yeah.
Karen is swatting. Like, that's a physical representation of swatting, and right there, you know what I mean? Bro, we spent damn near 30 minutes on this shit, man. Let's move to the next topic, because I can't talk about this no more, man. Get upset.
I mean, he was closing and wrapping it up.
Oh, Miracle. Go back to
First of all, yo.
I'm good.
I was trying to help you, my brother. My God. I know the hair was stressing you out, so I was trying to help.
It was.
Hilarious.
Alleviate your burdens.
Thank you.
That's what I was trying to do.
We wanted to stay on the police because, and I don't know if we want to do our sound of the police if we had that queued up, but because the police actually sued. The police, and I think this is in Palo Alto, are actually suing the city.
That's the sound of the police.
Hey, blah, 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 blah.
Dance party.
Yes. So the police in Palo Alto are suing the city over a mural that they claim discriminates against them because the mural features Assata Shakur. And so Palo Alto commissioned a lot of murals that went down. And one of them featured Assata Shakur, and also featured, a saying that's very popular. Normally, if you've been to any activist meeting, a lot of times you've heard, the call to action. What's the call to action, Miracle?
We must love and defend each other.
Yes, we must love each other and support each other. And so apparently the police in Palo Alto really have a problem with us loving for each other. And have a problem with Assata Shakur. Comments. Police are suing.
We can stop all of this. Stop killing black people.
Straight like that.
Problem solved. Like, where is this energy?
Killing, arresting, assaulting,
everything. Where is this energy for, if you're so adamant about the reputation of police, where is this energy for vacating and fumigating your house of bad apples? Where is the same energy for when the police be out here fucking up people? That's not cool, right?
No
Breaking
energy.
the blue wall of silence. None. But Assata Shakur, who is actually innocent of all charges, offends you. That's where you want to bring your lawsuit to. Cool.
See, the reality of it is, like, some white people still think that Assata Shakur was guilty of what they tried to pin on her. I remember I was reading her autobiography in public, just for a guy to walk up to me, he asked me what I was reading. I tell him, he's like, "Isn't she a cop killer? Why are you reading that?" I'm like, clearly you should be reading it as well, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So they probably seen the sign, seen Assata Shakur's face, got triggered because they still believe that she's a cop killer, and that's probably what their beef is.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, and this is a government, and I believe it happened under the Obama administration that they put her on like the most wanted domestic terrorist or international FBI list. Assata's in Cuba just minding her own business.
They were going to lift the trade embargo for her.
Yeah, living her black life, right? They wanted to give us Assata, and for in her own words, and this article, shout out to News One, they put a very thorough article, but they say Assata Shakur describes a scenario of an all too familiar routine traffic stop gone wrong and a white cop eager to shoot. Critics have noted that Shakur had gunshot wounds consisting with somebody surrendering. Assata did not fire any gun or shot at an officer. You know what I'm saying? And so here is somebody who, again, like many black people, is a victim of police brutality. And guess what? If y'all ain't brutalizing black people, then we don't have to put up no murals, you know what I'm saying, about black people being harassed and brutalized. But it just shows kind of how police are responding in this area in this time.
If
Yes,
we
sir.
look, if we recall back to the Ramir Talley mural just this last year in Pittsburgh, the officer that
100%.
murdered him reported
Yes.
the mural. Like,
Yes.
you're cool with the act, but you're not cool with being reminded of your handiwork. You're cool with actually murdering black people, but you're not cool with actually having to look at the consequences of it, because now you're forced to recognize humanity. You're forced to take accountability for your actions as a white supremacist. As a, you know what, man, I'm in my bag right now. Let me cool out. Thank you, Nikki Joe. That was on cue. Nikki Joe came in on cue.
Right, and that's real. You know what I'm saying? It was like you didn't want to look at this boy's face. You know what I'm saying, on his mural, but guess what? He could still be alive, and you wouldn't have to worry about no one putting up no mural. You wouldn't have to worry about no protesters if you did your job properly and just let black folks alone and be black and really do our thing. There was another police case that was similar to it, where a 19-year-old girl is being charged with a hate crime. What did she do? And this was in Utah, that she took a "Back the Blue" sign and crumpled it up. And because during a traffic stop, she saw a "Back the Blue" sign on the ground, crumpled it up, and according to the police officer, stepped on it, they're charging her with a hate crime. She's 19 years old. They're trying to ruin this girl's life. He said she crumpled it up in a destructive manner and threw it in the trash can. And now they're trying to put a hate crime enhancement, saying that what she did was an intent to intimidate or terrorize another person. What's happening? I guess
Blue Lives Matter.
Yes.
Whenever I hear this, I think of like the Lion King, when he's in there and he's like, "Ooh, Mufasa," and they all
Zazu
shaking like in the cave. That's what I start thinking of. But and the reality is, this is also why it's very important that you understand the legislation that's being passed, because last year when we were getting all that diversity and equity and inclusion stuff, what they also did is included veterans and police officers as being protected classes. And so now if a police officer says, you saying F the police, hurts him, makes him feel assaulted, you can get hate crime charges. So it's ridiculous. It's kind of funny that people with guns and badges who can take people's lives, run people's homes, can be like, this was a hate crime because it hurt my feelings when she stopped.
Yeah, that you were intimidated. Some 19-year-old girl, you got a gun, you got a badge, you got a radio call, all types of backup. Sometimes you got a K9 unit, you got all types of body armor. But a 19-year-old girl crumpling a Blue Lives Matter or Back the Blue sign causes you that much pain. But at the same time, where is that energy around your brothers that got beat down at the Capitol? Where is that Back the Blue energy there? Like, all of a sudden, when it comes to these white people that ran up at the Capitol and injured over 100 police officers, killing one, there's no throw them in jail energy. There's no hate crime energy. There's no it's the opposite of it. It's the, oh, these were just tourists. You know what I'm saying? It's the, Megyn Kelly coming out and saying like, oh, it wasn't even that bad. That the media is, they're showing the worst of it. They're like making it seem worse than it really is. So that's what to me is kind of wild about this situation. Is kind of how selective, like, you got energy to put a lawsuit to a mural, and you got energy to arrest this 19-year-old girl. But when we say, hey, yo, can we get some accountability for what happened at the Capitol, where a lot of ex-police officers and ex-military ran up in there, all of a sudden, you want to take a nap now.
This is something, so as someone who used to partake in gang activity, this is something that looks like, allegedly.
As someone who was allegedly accused of.
You feel me? So it's like, I'm not going to lie. If I seen an op step on a blue flag, I'd be pissed. But if I seen someone I used to bang with step on a blue flag, it's like, all right, bro, what's happening? Like, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I see the reactions that they have to this young black teenager stepping on the Back the Blue flag, but they can't have that same energy towards the people who ran up in the Capitol. I'm seeing it. It's like they see us as the ops and they see them as their brothers. They're like, we got to talk peacefully when it's our brothers. But when it comes to the ops, they have no respect whatsoever.
Yeah. I think that's a good question. Is there a legal defense fund dedicated to these bogus inverse hate crime charges? If not, maybe we could start one or find out. There definitely should be. There definitely should be some type of legal fund, a defense fund. We'll look into that and get back to you. That's a really good question. Any other comments?
Y'all really forgetting the FOP really be out here. Like out here is one of the strongest advocacy groups in the country. Like, yeah. So they get the legislation passed with the quickness. But I just think it's like very funny. It's not like funny, but very ironic. These same officers who destroy people's murals, who snatch signs from protesters, all type of stuff, like they can't handle their own actions when it comes home to them. It's very interesting.
Right. And it is wild to see, because like you said, when Black Lives Matter really first jumped off, one of the things that happened legislatively, I think it goes into like what you said, Miracle, about paying attention to the legislation. Right after the Black Lives Matter movement started, you had all of these like protect the blue bills. You know what I'm saying? So these police officers weren't just saying Blue Lives Matter. They were actually going to their Congress people, and a lot of states passed these legislations to quote unquote back the blue, or these like Blue Lives Matter bills or police protection bills. And so there are legislation involved in there as to what you can and can't do with a police officer. You know what I'm saying? But I do just find it fascinating that it's like, we can, like, just like you said, when it's Black people, when it's something Black related, it's automatically like, oh, they must hate the police. We got to go hard at it. But yet, you can't even talk to the cop who got beat up, at the Capitol. Or you have, Trump right now talking about the woman we were talking about last week. I think her name is Ashley Babbitt, saying, oh, she was a wonderful person. She was a good person. Like, she didn't do anything wrong, even though like she got into the Capitol and tried to get into the place where the Congress people are. And so it's wild to see. I mean, we had a dude right here in Pittsburgh that like built a Lego. It takes some dedication to build a Lego Capitol.
So that means your sons would like, what? You go into the Lego store to commit acts of treason. How come Lego ain't been, how come Lego didn't have to answer for this? If this would have been FUBU, what if he did done that in a One Hood t-shirt? Man, come on, man, bro. This man built a Lego replica of the Capitol.
How long does that take to build?
Exactly. Bro, that's what I'm saying, Miracle. That's dedication. To like go first, you gotta go buy. The Lego Capitol, it ain't cheap. First, you gotta like get up the funds. And can you buy that at a regular store? That's probably some like special order. Like, where do I get the Lego Capitol joint? And then to build it, and then this dude bought it.
That just goes to conspiracy and intent, and is once again why I do not understand why these people do not have gang charges, and a lot of these tougher. I just don't get it, because that's conspiracy, that's planning, that's premeditation. That really should be first degree murder, because you over here planning stuff, you're planning felonies, and people died in commission of these felonies. So I don't get it.
Miracle, they said, along with a fully constructed model of the Capitol made of Legos. Just think if he like built it his own, like if he just took the like extra Legos.
Doesn't that sound like, but
bro, how big was this model?
Or Home Alone or some shit? Like that really sounds like Home Alone Part 4, Washington, D.C.
I don't know if there's a picture of this model, but I definitely want to see it. But they also said, along, kind of like what you said, Miracle, along with the Legos, they recovered a notebook from his car. The notebook included various writings, including step-by-step to create hometown militia. He's right outside Pittsburgh. He's creating hometown militia, as well as a list of steps such as battle drills, ambush, and formation. And notes such as bring kit body armor, bring assault rifle, and 4 magazines.
Who needs that as a note, though?
But you know, when people, that's a privilege, because you know, if you in certain lifestyles, you know, you don't keep the evidence on you. Like, and so that's how you know it's a privilege of people be out here to be militiamen and out here armed with stuff, because they can just leave the evidence, they guns, they plans, and nothing's gonna happen to them.
Bro, it's crazy how we get like pulled over for the smell of weed in the car, but this nigga got a whole notebook with how to assault the fucking Capitol, bro. It's like, what? But I can't smoke weed? All right.
Hey, yo,
most people leave the house and they got to check for their keys. This nigga got to check to make sure he got his notebook with body armor and magazines. Like,
hey, on Amazon, the Lego Capitol is $270 for the leg, and it looked mad intricate, like super intricate. If you want to go and find a Lego Capitol, but just like you said, and it's like, it's, you know, it's no big deal. You know, all of these kind of conservative commentators were like, so what? So what, he had a Lego Capitol, like, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's just white privilege to the highest degree. You've had people already get probation that ran up in the Capitol. And like you said, Miracle, is looked at as like not really this big deal. Now, supposedly the FBI is gonna get some database to put all these people in, but like what we're not seeing is the level of charges being elevated to the point where they really need to. You know what I'm saying?
Let me draw a parallel for this then. He had a Lego reconstruction of the Capitol in order for him to infiltrate it and commit an act of treason with it that he paid $300 for.
Yeah.
George Floyd allegedly had a $20 bill that resulted in his death, and he ain't hurt nobody. How many people died in the Capitol riots? Wasn't it 1, 2?
I think it was like 4 or 5 people. Yes.
Five people. So one too many. 5 people died in the midst of this that a Lego set helped create. But George Floyd was murdered by not hurting anybody for allegedly having a counterfeit $20 bill. And that was okay. The $20 bill, oh yeah, he got to go. We got to get him out of here. But this man with the Lego set, and not only that, he cool.
Yeah, and not only that, but you know, George Floyd's a horrible person, according to these right-wing commentators. They're defacing his statues everywhere he's going. You had people doing like, oh, let's do a joke and you knee on my neck, and I was George Floyd and all that. But then the woman who ran up in the Capitol and got shot by the police, she's a wonderful person. She's a great mom. She's like, why? You know, they're wondering what happened. How could they? There was no reason for it. As she tries to get into the place where the Congress was. Like the guy
they be acting like we don't catch this shit in 4K. It's like we seen it, bro. Like we seen what happened.
We seen what you did. We seen not only that, but Trouble, same way. We seen all your Facebook posts. Guess what? We went on your Facebook page and seen all the rhetoric you were posting on there. And that's the thing. Like this guy, not only is he Farouk, this guy is actually trying to get. He might get out. He might get out.
Bro, he's gonna go. He's going to get out, man. The grace that has been showed these people, the patience, the privilege that has been awarded to them. If we're still talking about critical race theory and we're still chatting about all these things with right privilege and think, look at this Capitol situation, this failed coup, this riot, everything where they murdered 5 white people, one of which was a police officer. They've beaten people with the American flags. This was premeditated. There was rhetoric. There was support groups. There was paper trail, electronic proof of all of this happening. And Miracle said best, where are the charges for gang? You know, like the same way you're going to charge the Crips and Bloods, charge these fucking people, man. Like it's talking about this. Maybe because I'm cranky, bro. I'm tight.
I was just about to say, where is the Rico?
Like, where's the Rico? You know what I mean? Bro,
you got the oath seekers and the oath keepers, whatever they were, the Proud Boys. I mean, they're known groups. You know what I'm saying? They're known gangs. You got them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's because I'm cranky. I'm upset at this today.
Well, maybe this will make you feel a little bit better.
I need some Black Joy.
Oh, I was gonna go to some sports talk. That's not.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
okay. I like sports.
I mean, it ended in Black Joy.
That's what I said. It's Black Joy on my part because England lost, and you proved your ass should have lost that soccer game. You know what I'm saying? Because so to me, it was almost like some type of black karma. You know what I'm saying? That like you racist ass England. You know what I'm saying? Like the black people, missed their penalty. So England was in the Euro Cup. For those that don't know, they went to penalty kicks. It was tied. The black players in England, it was a white dude that missed too, but 3 black players missed the shots. England lost, and then England showed how racist they were by simply just attacking these black people. Not only attacking the black soccer players on social media, there were black people physically assaulted in England for being black. I read a report from somebody that said a black man was thrown in a river. You know what I'm saying? Like black people, like black people literally had to hide in the house while these drunk, racist fans were on a rampage because these black people that, of course, you wouldn't even got to the damn Euro Cup if you didn't have no black people on your team. You would be nothing. You know what I'm saying? If these black people ain't played for England, your team would be absolutely trash. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us, Root. What's going on, man? In your former, the place that you used to live.
Yo, so listen, like all my mates were linking me like, yo, you
get in your patois. Get in your patois.
Yo, so listen, all the man them linked me is like, yo, you put the English flag in your profile, bro. I said no. I said allow that. I said allow it. Like, yo, I can't stand for the queen in this, man. You get me? Like, it's too much white supremacy out here. I cannot stand for the queen. Can't rep for the crown. None of them things. Man gonna do what man gonna do for the ends, and England has nothing to do with that. But right. In all seriousness, though, there's Stephen Lawrence was murdered by white soccer thugs in 1991 in London. Andy Walker was murdered by white soccer thugs, racist soccer thugs in London in 1996. These are things that happen to black people in London all the time. Black people in England, all across the United Kingdom. It's anything but. This is the unfortunate truth. When we do well, we're celebrated as country people. When we don't, we're niggas, we're gollywogs, we're all these different things, right? It's the same way. It's the same way in France. It's the same way in England. And unfortunately, this is the European statute, the statute, the way they view black athletes and black people.
Absolutely. It happened in Italy. I forget who the really great
yo, allow me. Let me live. Yo, let me live.
People
Pause. Wait. I just want to point out yesterday he was Spanish and it was hilarious. Like in person because people thought he was Spanish and he was doing the broken Spanish translation.
I had to translate. I had to translate yesterday. It was mad.
But so what do y'all think about, one of the things that happened was Prince William came out in defense of the English soccer team.
That's all.
He's trying to live right. I'm sorry. That was ableist.
It feels like he only. Oh, sorry, Miracle. I was just gonna say it feels like he only defends the black people entertaining him.
Yeah, because he was silent when it came to Meghan Markle. When Meghan Markle called out the crown.
Come on.
That racism was a little bit close to home when it included your family, your peoples. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like just like you said, sports entertainment. Oh, I want to come out. We shouldn't be doing this. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? You were saying Miracle about his hairline. What did you? He was.
No, I did not. See, wow. What I was saying was,
go ahead.
I'm not like a soccer person, so I don't know all of the details. But this one person I was reading on Twitter was saying like these black athletes are the youngest in the club, and they're some of the newest members. So actually, there's some of the least experienced members on the team, and the coach basically refusing to coach. They kind of stepped up to volunteer to take these penalty kicks because nobody else would do it. So here they are without the proper training and support trying to fight, and they're getting all this racist abuse. This is nothing new for the sports world and the soccer. They were throwing bananas a few years ago and a whole type of stuff. And
that was regular. Like the bananas was regular. That was forever, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for interrupting me. And so what I was saying was
I added color commentary.
You know what? Of course you did, because you don't got a lot, so you got to point in when you can. So, like I was saying, you know what?
Miracle! Miracle!
You know what? It's okay. I didn't have a lot of
waffle hate right there, bro.
You had that one cocked and loaded, eh?
I wasn't paying attention. See, what happened was I was making a point about, how we got to unify and come together and support all of our Black people in the community. And that's what ended up happening. And that was a takeaway. That was a silver lining of this moment. We ended in Black joy.
Yes, that was the silver lining. England lost. But I will agree with you, Miracle. Like, hatred and racism will aid you. I mean, a lot of these racist people they look bad. They look super, super bad. So hate and racism will, make you lose your hairline. It will aid you. It will do all of that stuff. So I guess we can maybe we can get to our Terry Crews of the week. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of.
I love you, Farouk. I love you.
I love you too. I'm not even gonna lie. I love you too. That was funny as hell. That was funny as hell.
It was a lot of Terry Crewses. I saw a Black woman on Twitter today say that if Martin Luther King was alive, he would have been a right-wing conservative, which of course is just an absolute lie. But there it is. I saw what was that? It was a Black dude that said slavery wasn't racist.
A Black dude or Ben Carson? Because I don't think the two of them are.
No, this was a different. This was like it's like Ben Carson's like adopted son. I don't know, but he basically said slavery wasn't racist. It wasn't about race. However, Ben Carson said that slavery wasn't as bad as the welfare system. That the welfare system was worse than slavery. And of course he said this in a room full of white people, because I don't think Ben Carson has been. When is the last time Ben Carson has been in a room of Black people?
Does Condi Rice count?
1985. I mean, like, when was the last time? So here's Ben Carson at CPAC, which is the conservative, and there was mad racism. Yeah, political action group. And this is him talking about welfare and slavery. Cue it up, John. Go ahead.
When you look at what the Black community has been through, go all the way back to slavery. It was the family, the strong family units, and the
strong
faith in
family
God
unit.
The strong family unit.
The ones they broke up.
They got people through Jim Crow,
sold off,
severe segregation,
forced
through
into sharecropping,
difficulties,
lynched.
But what really had a
Quartered by horses
impact was when the government came along and said,
I thought it was Reagan's crack era, but
I'm going to take care
the welfare
of all
queens.
your needs.
Mass incarceration.
And started implementing policies that were destructive to family formation. Those are the things that have hurt the Black community.
You know what? I think that for some reason we keep people try to romanticize slavery as this benefit of when the family was all together, and it actually was not. Like, people were raped, murdered, sold off. That is why a lot of us have so many common last names, because our families had to regroup and rename themselves during Reconstruction, number one. Number two, this idea of a family unit, it's like a myth. There was never this 2-parent household type thing, because all across the world there was community-based families. There were neighborhood-based families. You had whole collectives raising kids. So this idea that we had this insular family unit is not even factually correct. And I wish people would just free themselves from the slavery narrative. That's all. It's not a whole lot.
That when you have
just a little.
When you have your Ben Carson saying things like that in this room for the white people, specifically right now when the topic of critical race theory is such a hot button topic, it only further fuels the fire. You know what I mean? It gives them more of a leg to stand on, as it were. But Miracle,
what's popping?
What would you say if you was in a room with Ben Carson?
I'd be like, why? Because
would you come at him the same way you come at me?
Yeah, I've actually met Ben Carson a couple of times, and we've had conversations. Yeah, I told you my dad was a Black Republican. I could have been Candace Owens, but I had a heart and a brains and a moral compass to save myself. But people, they have this idea that the way to overcome racism is to make money and to assimilate. And that does not work because you still endure racism. The way Ben Carson talks about like his family and his mother, he benefited from the welfare state. Like he went to college
Absolutely.
because of the social services that supported his family. And instead of saying, we know what, we need more robust social services, we need to change and take away the barriers that make people feel like they can't have jobs or increases. He just like, take everything away, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Racism doesn't exist and you can't do that. That's all.
And to answer his question of like what I would say if I was in a room with Ben Carson, I'd be like, bro, you sound mad that you didn't have slaves. That's all that is.
It's like, are you fighting for liberation or are you fighting for the same benefits of white supremacy?
I mean, I think that's what it is. I think you said it right. It's like we think that like, getting multi-million dollars or getting recognition or getting these things. I remember a story that I heard Minister Farrakhan tell where he was talking. He had a conversation with Muhammad Ali, and he said Muhammad Ali was saying to him, "I'm still a nigger," and he was saying like, "No, Muhammad, like you're Muhammad Ali, you're the greatest of all time." And he was saying Muhammad Ali was saying to him like, despite all this success that I have, this is how they still look at me, despite him being the greatest, despite him being the champ, despite him being all of this. And so it's that idea that like we're gonna somehow success our way through white supremacy, and if we just success our way through, we're gonna be all right. But we know that shit, it didn't save Herman Cain. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't save him. You know what I'm saying? He was a victim to all of that bullshit that they've been pushing. So, yeah. Do we have anything? Go ahead.
Did they sabotage our broadcast tonight, man?
It seems like there's a light-skinned bias going on in this.
Oh, shit.
I feel like you're gonna have to sit and interrogate why that would be. I just wanted to point out that we
gotta go inward.
What's going on with the Olympics also shows that like reaching a level of success does not prevent you from engaging white supremacy and racism and people lying on you and disparaging you and attacking you. And that's one of the lessons you gotta talk. You can't outwork, you can't out capitalize, you can't out fundraise white supremacy. You just can't.
You can't. I mean, that video of Simone Biles where she's like saying like she can't they won't give her like the scores that are proper for the difficulty that she's doing because she's too good. And like she, the face that she made at the end where she was just like there's nothing that she can do. Like she's doing things that have never been done in gymnastics before. And because her degree of difficulty is so high, she doesn't get the proper scores. And so just like you said, even in greatness, white people gonna find a way to level that playing field. They did the same thing
to Surya Bonali, the figure skater, black figure skater. She was performing moves that was too difficult or illegal. She was doing backflips on ice, and they would dock her points. You know what I mean? So it's literally the same Olympic committee that denied Surya Bonali her greatness is doing the same thing to Simone Biles just because of superior athleticism and black excellence.
Yeah, we got to come together, and I think that's kind of what Miracle was saying. You know what I'm saying? We got to come together. It's either liberation for all of us or it ain't gonna be none for none of us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to reach out to Ice Cube and see if his support pack, can create a Black Olympics, since he has the platinum plan for Black America. So,
this is going to be the big three of every sport, the big three of gymnastics. That would actually be kind of hot.
I think that if that is his, his vision of freedom for, the platinum plan for Black America, he could.
Yeah, it's funny because he hasn't really said a lot, I'd be interested in, we haven't heard a lot from Ice Cube. We haven't, did he start some political party? We haven't heard anything from that. And it just makes you wonder, does it only work when it's time for some big national presidential push? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if we're going to do something, shouldn't the work be done now? But is it real or is it, what I'm saying? Oh, Farouk's gone again.
There we go again.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes I guess maybe that's what hate gets you. So anyway, did you want to give us
the shade?
They're hitting Saeed with the shade. We did want to honor the Black excellence. What's the sister? I mean, you know, this young woman who won, or this young girl, I should say, she's 14 years old. I saw that there was even controversy as to how she was being portrayed. Who won the spelling bee?
Miracle, why you keep sabotaging my broadcast?
First of all, why you keep blaming on me? He did this all day yesterday.
Because you're the only one that ain't been kicked off the broadcast so far.
Maybe because I'm the only one who has Verizon, and it's holding through for us.
Well, I'm at the office. I don't even know we have at the office.
Yeah, it's just holding through. But I don't have no furniture, so I got nothing blocking my signal. So let me have this good Wi-Fi. Let me have this one win.
It's starting to look like colorism for real. I'm starting to question you.
That is hilarious. So let's say that's God till it's time for dinner.
John tell us all the time, all this stuff can break up I don't got nothing to break up the ions for the Wi-Fi.
What's the young Black girl that won the spelling bee, and then is also like a basketball phenomenon? What's the young sister's name? Is it Zayla? Zayla Vanguard. Am I pronouncing that? Her first name right? Zayla. So yeah, she's definitely our Black excellence of the week. You know what I'm saying? We want to start doing our Black excellence, you know, seeing her win. And it's like, this is not even her main thing. Like, you know, like, I guess spelling bees are like beauty pageants in the sense of these parents be having their children in it because they're 5, 6 years old. She was like, yeah, I just jumped in this a couple years ago. Something I do on the side when I'm not breaking ankles on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying?
Like when Bo Jackson said he played in the NFL in the offseason of baseball. Because I get bored and I'm playing the NFL.
Yeah, just bored. Just practice some spelling bee. You want to throw that up there for us, John? You know, just practice some spelling bee in my off time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her. I think I saw she was at the ESPYs. Has been getting a lot of love and attention, and so you know, some Black excellence for you to make you smile and to make you happy. Is there anything else that we didn't get to? I mean, there's always stuff that we didn't get to, but is there anything? I know we had talked about, you know, the fact that Pittsburgh, the city of Pittsburgh's workforce is 77% white male. I mean,
is anybody surprised about that?
No surprise whatsoever. And it's actually gotten less diverse, you know, since 2019.
When did this come out?
I saw Rich Lord, who's at the Public Source, tweet about it on Tuesday with a graph, and it's actually like it's gotten less diverse and more male. And so that's Pittsburgh, you know what I'm saying? And so it's one thing when you nominate people, oh, we have so many diverse people on these boards, but it's another thing when you're looking at who gets paid to do work for the city of Pittsburgh. Who gets paid? White men. That's who get paid. You know what I'm saying? And why we need, you know, a change in leadership in this city. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, indeed. So do you want to give us our white pages for the week, Miracle?
Yes. How the Word is Passed, A Reckoning with the History of Slavery Across America by Clint Smith. You know, since apparently people don't really know about slavery,
yes.
Let's understand how we learned about slavery, what we're taught about slavery, how we can find primary sources and the politics of things at play that prevent us from actually understanding the world as it is. So this is by Clint Smith. I got this locally at Whitewell because some of the local stores were closed at 5 o'clock. So I went over there and I got this, and they were very lovely and helpful with getting me the book. So
absolutely. How the Word is Passed, a New York Times bestseller. Get your read on and learn on. And our call to action, you know, we put the GoFundMe of the sister. You know, we want to defend her against Crazy Karen, but there's also an event, I think, is it Saturday, Miracle, a Stop the Violence event happening?
Yes. Sunny, aka Michelle Hicks, is hosting, you know, a Stop the Violence event this Saturday, a picnic from 12 to 7 p.m. And inviting everybody in the community to come out. You know, you all been talking about gun violence and all this type of stuff for the past year. You know, talk about how much y'all love the community. Well, show up for the community. Come to the come to the barbecue, and you can also donate if you cannot make it. I'll put that donation link in the chat, so you can donate for food and all type of support. You can reach out to Michelle if you would like to volunteer. You know, volunteers are always needed. So yeah, so that's going to be the call to action. Show up. Also, Driving While Black has their concert tomorrow in Allegheny Commons. So that's another thing. You want to show up. Are you performing tomorrow, or are you just?
No, we got Hotline Ring tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, first of all, can we talk about how I'm
out. Everybody have a good night, man. I'm out of here.
You know what it is, Miracle. He wasn't at pre-production, you know, and it was because of Hotline Ring.
This is a light skin moment, and you know how I say like there's some truths and stereotypes. Can we just talk about this light skin moment that is happening?
So yeah, so Hotline Ring is a fundraiser.
No, you don't. You could never hate me.
Hotline Ring is a fundraiser for a group of organizations led by marginalized folks. It's tomorrow. What time does it start?
6
o'clock. You can donate. You know what I'm saying?
That was a terrible explanation of it. Hotline Ring.
Your beer perm.
Why is it everything against me today? Like, what did I do? I just woke up. Now
break it down. Break down Hotline Ring for us, Fruit.
Hotline Ring is a virtual fundraiser to benefit Black arts organizations with the emphasis on Black femme arts organizations led in the city of Pittsburgh that have been marginalized. And all the proceeds go 100% to all of your favorite Black creative organizations in the city. One Hood does happen to benefit from this, but we do not want you to only donate to One Hood. If you feel so compelled and you are fiscally solvent enough to donate to everybody, feel free to do so. But it's also going to be super dope. Lots of live entertainment. Victor Muthama's performer from One Hood. JM the Poet's performer from One Hood. We got Legacy Arts performing. And Quanique is performing. It's gonna be dope. It's all the mayors, all the Black mayors in the city are on one panel for Hotline Ring. It's gonna be very dope. There's a lot of things that went into this, a lot of moving parts. I'm actually very excited to be a part of it tomorrow night. So please tune in and support as many Black organizations as you do, not just with This Week in White Supremacy, but everyone across the city deserves their time to shine, and tomorrow's the thing. Thank you, Celeste, for actually contributing something positive to today's chat.
Yes. Hotline Ring. Some hate going on. So shout out to Kelly Strayhorn, Joseph, I know Boom Concepts, Pearl Arts, the Braddock Library, all those great folks out.
Also to the First Lady. Ruth don't know what he was saying. My twin, he didn't eat today, because he's trying to, get right for the show. He's an actor now. He just didn't eat today. He a little hangry, and that's just what happened. Give him. You gotta give him a little grace.
Need a Snickers.
Nah.
He can't have his card.
But anyway, still support Driving While Black if you can. Hotline Ring tomorrow. The Stop the Bounce Community Cookout. We put that information in the chat as well. A lot of stuff happening in Pittsburgh. And get involved. Be the change you want to see. All that good stuff. So is that it? Anything else? Oh, until tomorrow, 12 p.m. Get your mental health check on. Ask a Black Doctor tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're gonna be talking about the Delta variant. We're gonna be talking about all of that stuff. So we'll, I guess maybe be interrupting Hotline Ring for a little bit, and then we go back to Hotline Ring after you get your Ask a Black Doctor on. All right. Anything else?
I do believe there's a forum, a multi-day forum next week.
Oh,
right?
Yes. What Pennsylvania knows about juvenile justice.
About juvenile
what
justice.
Pennsylvania needs to know about juvenile justice next week is going to be a forum that we're doing in collaboration with Project Game and Penn State, Greater Allegheny. So be on the lookout for that. We'll have panels Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday's keynote is Yusef Salam of the Central Park 5. So let's also mention, our episode. If you saw us on United Shades of America on CNN, we were on that episode. That was the season premiere of
We
last
are nominated
season.
for an Emmy.
Right, that episode that not only featured us, Summer Lee, Damon Young, YC, and the pastor from Tree of Life. Just about Pittsburgh, that episode was nominated for an Emmy. So shout out to W. Kamau Bell. Shout out to the production team behind United Shades of America. We got an Emmy, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we had a little something to do with it, you know what I'm saying? A little tiny bit to do with it.
I'll be honest with you, man. Our segment was kind of the freshest. I'm not going to lie. Not just because it's us, but, like, you know, our segment was fresh.
I mean, we brought the youth them, you know what I'm saying? We brought the youth them to the table, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, that's what made, you know, one hood the freshest. So,
and we got one more thing. Next Thursday at 6 p.m., Trouble NLS is performing. I might fuck around and perform my entire album. Who knows? Come and find out.
So and that's at
Allegheny Overlook.
Allegheny Overlook.
At 6 p.m. with Driving While Black. Is it 6? It's 6 or 7?
Yes.
Yeah. 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
No grace.
And
yes.
Last thing, I know it's a lot of stuff going on. Next Saturday, our C4 One Hood Power is hosting a conversation on combating gun violence, MS, incarceration with state representative Senator Sharif Street, as well as, you know, local MSW professor and student Richard Garland. Some more people. It's going to be at the Community Empowerment Center over in Homewood. That's going to be from 12 to 2 p.m. It's going to be in person. Please wear your mask because, again, you know, if you watch Ask the Black Doctor tomorrow, you know the Delta variant is going to be here, so we're going to ask people to mask up. But it's a free event. We'll have light refreshments.
Did you say Delta Burke was going to be here?
That's a Senator Utah.
The Delta variant, brother. She said the Delta variant.
Okay, I'm about to say Delta Burke. I used to love designing women, man.
I have the whole box set. Bro, this is why we're twins. This is why. Why. But
what happened to the black guy? Is he still alive? The black guy that was on that show?
I don't know. That's a good question.
What happened to him?
Miracle. I swear to God, I thought you said Delta Burke was coming. I was going to say, for what? I was interested.
The Delta variant, brother. That's why we still got to, you know, mask up, maintain social distance. But shout out to CA, shout out to Rashad Birdsong. You know, been doing a lot of great work in our community for many, many years. Appreciate that. Delta Burke, yeah, you bringing back, like, where's Delta Burke at? Is she alive?
I have no idea. I hope
we'll see if we can get her on the show next week. Talk about
her and Kirstie Alley. Isn't Kirstie Alley like a wild Trumper?
Do not know.
She's a wild Trump supporter.
Yeah, I thought she was like super Trump. Yeah,
wild. Super wild Trump supporter. Yes, and definitely not on the comedic level of Delta Burke. Let's not soil her name. With that being said, we will see y'all tomorrow. Right? See y'all tomorrow. Get your breed on, and
did you say get your breed on?
See y'all next weekend. Get your read on.
Oh, they said breed.
Come on, bro. All right, we're leaving now. We're leaving now.
It is officially over.
All right, peace. See y'all next Wednesday, y'all.
Peace out.
Play them.
Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and to wipe their mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the Whitest House.